Hi friends, it's a beautiful day and so I thought I would update you on things that we're doing in our garden. First of all, my husband fixed the fountain which kept draining for some reason, and we do have a dream of eventually getting some fish in here, but you can't really do fish if the pond is draining over and over again. We have the lilacs blooming over there. Here's one of the painted rocks Sabrina and I found when we were going for walks a lot on the trail. I think the trail might be opened again. They closed it due to coronavirus. We've got some succulents in here. Oh, my husband found 2 frogs and put them in our little pond here, and they've stuck around, and as soon as it starts to get dark at night, they start making lots of noise, which for our boys who sleep at the back of the house, if they have their window open, it kind of drives them nuts. Here's our adorable garden gnome sunbathing that a friend gave to us. I love it. Here's the new bird feeder I got for Mother's Day. And a couple others too. I don't know why that orange construction-y looking dog is there, but it is. These tulips were blooming and it appears something ate them. It made me sad. And this cute little house right here, it lights up at night. I just noticed that recently. Another little gnome. And this is a birdhouse one of our kids made, I think at scout camp or something. My husband's done a great job just growing random things around our little fountain here. And he put up this bamboo along the fence. Our previous neighbor, he built this fence when the house was being sold because he wanted to have it the way he wanted it. And of course, being the jerk that he is, he gave us the side with the metal poles. We'd rather not look at the metal poles, so this went up and maybe we'll eventually get more of it. This bench right here is from a tree that was leaning on my parents' house, and the neighbors couldn't afford to remove it, so my parents paid for it, and they took a couple pieces of the stump and we made it into a bench. My husband mentioned wanting to weed the pots, and I was thinking he meant the ones back here, and so I was thinking everything in here I was thinking everything was a weed in here, and he was actually talking about some pots in the front yard. And so he asked me if I dug out the bulbs, and I said I don't know. Well, you didn't feel any root balls, and I think I did. I think I thought I was just doing an awesome job getting a especially nasty weed out. So I'm fired. And yeah, I ruined this one too. So we'll have to plant something else in it. I did some plant starters for the first time, and I think we had crazy wind. I think some of my markers blew away. But the whole row at the top, that's all cucumber. So we've grown zucchini before. We had a great first year with zucchini and then didn't have much luck after that. But it's encouraging that I got some cucumber to start growing. The first 2 rows might be cucumber. And then these kind of clovery looking things, that's all lettuce. And I think that actually grows in the winter too. And that'll save me a lot of money because you can trim off the lettuce as you need it rather than buying a huge package for your family and then they don't end up eating much of it. I think some of this is green onion, and then the bottom row here, pretty sure is spinach. But we added some manure to the strawberry boxes and they perked up really quickly. So it probably won't be that long before we get some strawberries. And they usually do pretty well. This is the other box of strawberries. These are blueberry plants right here, and we're gonna cover them with some sort of netting because last year I think the birds were eating them all. I love the torch lilies that grow on the other side of the fence. We weeded these large beds right here. We still need to get some tomato starters and plant those. But this is probably where we're gonna try to grow some zucchini and cucumbers and stuff. The rosemary does amazing here, and I made a pot roast last night, and I love that I can just run out here and grab some fresh rosemary whenever I want. I think that's probably sage in there. I kind of forgot that we had that. I would like some thyme because I'm finding that I cook quite a bit with thyme. And see this little tree right here? This barely started growing on the other side of the fence when we first bought our house. Oh, I just saw the chipmunk. Anyway, I didn't think it was gonna make it because it was right up against the fence. And this is what almost 6 years of growth looks like. And these men come in with 4x4 riding lawnmowers. They go up to all of the chain link fence back here, and they hack away everything that's growing, whether it's beautiful or not. Like they'll chop down the torch lilies and everything. And so when they first showed up to do that one day, I thought this tree was gonna be a goner. I thought for sure they're gonna chop it away, but it's still here, and you can see that it grows away a little bit crooked for a moment, and then it goes straight up. And you can see from over here that it has grown in the fence. I'm not sure how much thicker it's gonna get. I don't know if it's eventually just gonna break it or if it's gonna be strangled by the chain link, but it just seems like it's super resilient. There are some areas where the branches have been cut off, and that's kind of odd. So look, there's another one missing right there. So this Mother's Day weekend, when I was admiring this tree and how strong it is, I thought, you know, I should name this after a strong woman. And I asked some friends on Instagram and Facebook, do you have any nominations? And I said, please, no political figures. Because I have friends on both sides of the fence. And I thought if political people got nominated, then it would start some ugliness, and I really didn't want to deal with that. And I wanted this to be a positive discussion. Anyway, my friend Christine's daughter, she suggested the name Christine, and I realized immediately that is perfect. I'll tell you more about Christine. She has 5 kids, and less than 2 years ago she lost her husband to cancer. He had an inoperable tumor in his throat, and during that time she went back to school and she became a paramedic. And that wasn't the only thing they went through medically. So he'd gotten a new job up here, and I think it was just a few days after he started his new job that he had a stroke. And his boss was absolutely amazing, and they kept the benefits during that time. And she ended up picking a house without him and moved up here, and eventually he got back to work, and then it turned up he had cancer. And after a lot of suffering, she finally lost her husband, and then she had to deal with a bunch of red tape in that situation, where it comes to the life insurance and everything. She had to jump through a bunch of hoops to prove that he didn't already have cancer when he got the life insurance. But eventually that came through, and she moved her family to Arizona. Anyway, she amazes me, and I miss her, and so I'm really happy to name the tree Christine. And she didn't know that her daughter had nominated her. I'm really glad her daughter recognizes how strong she is. Okay, finally, I'm going to show you what we have going on in the front yard. My husband just put in some new bark, and it's beautiful. Oh, and he trimmed the hydrangeas and everything. Our Japanese maple has gotten bushier, but not really taller. We got this pot from my sister-in-law, which I left. That didn't really sound... It's not a drug reference. Oh, and another pot right there. Another little pot, and some more over there. These guys need to go in the ground. This patch of soil here, some stuff just doesn't survive well. Like that thing. But that guy's doing okay. I think that's might be a rhododendron. Yeah, the bark looks really nice, I think. For some reason, the trunk of the tree is black. It's been like that for a while, but this tree was kind of my favorite part of the house. And it provides some shade. This is just one of the few things we have to do now. This bush with the pink flowers is so pretty. Thanks so much for watching. No, don't get me! Ah! Looks like he's contemplating his strategy.